Welcome to Country Cookin'. I'm your hostess, Cindy Schumacher. On today's show, we'll be making garden party sandwich, easy pasta salad, fruit salsa, and a dessert called Summer Breeze. We're going to start with the Summer Breeze since we've got to do a little baking with that. And so we're going to start with 2 cups of flour and a half cup of sifted confectioner's sugar. I'm going to whisk that together to combine. Okay, and now we're going to cut in 1 cup of butter. If you, I prefer a pastry blender. If you would rather use 2 knives or whatever, use whatever you are comfortable with. So we're going to blend this butter in. Sometimes I cheat and I soften the butter a little bit, but today we're going to do it the real way. And this says to bake it in 2 7x11 pans. I only have one, so I'm substituting a 9x9 for one of my pans, and it works just fine. This dessert also, my husband said you should try making this with rhubarb, and I have not yet, but you may want to try that because I think it would work out well. It makes kind of a little bit of a custardy type of a filling by the time you use all the cream cheese and everything. So you might want to be adventurous and try that. Now, if you would like a copy of any of the recipes that we're using here today, and if you do have internet, you go to the Valley website and click on the Country Cookin' column on the right, and you'll find all the recipes. If you don't have internet, give the girls at Valley a call and they'll be happy to help you get a copy. Okay, I think this looks pretty good. So we're going to I'm just going to kind of get my hand in here and just kind of incorporate it a little bit better, and then I'm going to press it in the pans, and then we're going to bake it at 350 for about 20 minutes. And this, it's kind of what they call a cookie bar recipe, because it's the crust is like a shortbread. And so like a shortbread cookie, and then the rest of it is more like a bar. So it's kind of a combination of the two. Okay, we're going to throw that in the oven then. Okay, we'll start with the filling then. I have 4 eggs that we're going to beat together. I use a whisk. You can use your beater if you like. Okay, to the beaten eggs now we're going to add our 2 cups of granulated sugar. Okay, to this we're going to add 1/3 cup of lemon juice. You can use fresh squeezed lemon juice if you have it, or you can use real lemon. So the real lemon in the bottle. Okay, when that's nice and fluffy, then we're going to take a 1/4 cup of flour. To that we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Give it a little whisk. These little mini whisks are handy when you have just a little something like this. You can do it with a spoon, but a whisk seems to work a little better in that situation. Okay, so now we're going to add this into our egg mixture. Okay, we'll just set this aside and we're going to work on the cream cheese filling.
Blazing fast broadband internet from Valley is now available and better than ever. Let us help you decide which speed is best for you. The 50 meg speed would be sufficient for 1 to 4 devices, mainly emailing and surfing the web. Our 100 meg speed works great for 5 to 8 devices and multiple users streaming and downloading video. If you have 8 devices or more that are simultaneously streaming or gaming, or if you have a medium-sized business, the 250 meg speed would work best for you. For extreme heavy home or work from home use, or if you have a medium to large business using 15 or more devices, you may want to consider our 500 meg download speed to fit your needs. And if you're a home or business that needs it all, we have our 1000 meg 1 gig broadband internet speed. Call our office today at 437-2615 and talk with one of our staff members to pick the speed that's best for you.
We're going to do the cream cheese filling for the Summer Breeze. I've got an 8-ounce cream cheese here that's softened. We're going to fluff that up a little bit. To that, we're going to add 6 tablespoons of granulated sugar. One whole egg. There's a little bit of sugar stuck in my bowl. We had a little humidity in here. And a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, I pulled the crusts out of the oven. We're going to want to let them sit for just a few more minutes. I'll bring them over here so you can see what we're doing. In the meantime, I have the water boiling, so I'm going to dump in the pasta. We're using tricolor rotini. This is a 12-ounce box. You can use anything from a 12-ounce to a 16-ounce. This is what my grocery store carries. So toss those in, get that going, give it a stir. I'm just going to add a little salt. Okay, and while all that's working and this is cooling for just a minute, we'll start on the fruit salsa. This fruit salsa recipe I got from my cousin's wife, and she brings it to 4th of July when we're all together. And it's wonderful, it's refreshing. You can use it as an appetizer, you can use it whenever you like. So I'm going to, normally I chop things up before we actually start filming, but this time I thought it'd be fun to let you see how everything goes in there. I have a chopper here that's carried through Demaro. Our Edith Gage and Eureka carries Demaro. This is the slickest thing you've ever seen. So I just thought it'd be fun to show you a little bit of how this works. I'm going to just we'll start with the oranges. And I'll just throw, you can use 2 or 3 oranges depending on the size of your oranges. Mine are small, so I peeled 3. You just pull the rope like this. The more times you pull, the finer your ingredients will be. So I usually give it about 6 pulls and toss it in. I'll do the rest of them, and that's how fast it goes. You can't believe the time saving that you have. And not that there's anything wrong with cutting it by hand, but sometimes it's fun to have something that really is a time saver. Okay, we've got kiwis. I probably should. It looks like I got one lodged. There we go. Throw a few strawberries in with it this time to fill my bowl. Now you can see how the colors are starting to mix together and everything. It's just it's so pretty. It's so refreshing, and I think you're gonna like having something like this that's different than just a salty dip. It's fun to have something a little sweeter and colorful. I'm using about probably a little more than a pint of strawberries. Sticky. Okay, and now I'm going to add 2 apples that I have peeled and cored. Giving those apples a little extra pull or 2 there. Okay, we're going to stir this together. This keeps for a long time too in the refrigerator. It'll keep for days. If you want to add a little lemon juice or something, and that will help preserve it. And then what I do, depending on how sweet your fruit is, and this time of the year the fruit is pretty good, I stir in about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, just to kind of give it a little bit of a, not really a syrup, but it just kind of marries all the flavors together. And it's done. So I'm going to put it in the refrigerator until we're ready. Let it chill. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll quick take a break. I'll clean up and then we'll assemble the Summer Breeze. Be right back.
Get 3 months free access on all lines plus a new 4G smartphone for only $4.99 a month. 2 great offers with Valley Cellular. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to take advantage of this great deal.
Okay, pasta's done. We're going to drain it and run some cold water over it. Okay, we're going to assemble our Summer Breeze. So right now we're going to pour our cream cheese filling in. Spread that out. You got to spread a little carefully so that you don't take some of the crust with you. Okay, so now I have a pint of blueberries. I have washed and stemmed them. I just put them back in the container for to make it easier to store them. But anyway, so you sprinkle those across the top. Try to make sure I have them pretty evenly, but they don't have to be perfect. Okay, so now we're going to pour our egg mixture over the top of that. Trouble holding on to my bowl. That's where handles come in handy. Okay. We're going to get these back in the oven at 350 for about another 20-25 minutes or so. Okay, I think we can start assembling the pasta salad. bit warm yet. I need a little more water. Okay, I'm using Kraft Zesty Italian dressing. You can use whatever brand you like. They recommend to use the Zesty, so it has just a little more zip to it. Now pasta will absorb the dressing when it's still a little bit warm. Mine's not quite cool yet, but I have wet, slippery fingers, and it doesn't want to open. There we go. I'm just going to put about half of a bottle and start. So it starts absorbing some of that dressing. Now to that, we're going to add some black olives. I bought pitted olives and I sliced them in rings. And you can do that to taste depending on if your box of pasta was 12 ounces or 16 ounces. And then I have about a cup of Colby Jack that I have cubed. And then I bought these little mini pepperoni bites and I've sliced those into little rings. So already right there you have a beautiful salad. To that though, to make it a little healthier, and you don't have to, these are both optional. I have about a half of a cucumber that I have peeled and sliced into small chunks. And I did the same with a tomato. Okay, we're gonna put this in the refrigerator and let everything kind of absorb some of the dressing, and then we'll finish it up in a little bit. So I'm going to quick wash up the dishes. We'll be right back.
Faster than fast internet is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
Okay, I'm going to show you how to make your cinnamon shells or chips. I use Aztec tortillas. I use the smallest kind. You can use whatever brand your store carries, but I use the smaller one because it makes a little bit of a smaller chip and you don't need such huge chips. So you just baste them with just plain old water. Cover the whole thing. Okay, and then I combined about a half cup of granulated sugar with 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. You can adjust your ratio if you like it a little more cinnamony or not quite as cinnamony. And so then you sprinkle that on and be generous with it because some of it will fall off. I'm using a shaker. You can use whatever. If you want to just do it with a spoon, that's fine. I like shakers because I can put a cover on it and put it away and use it another time if I need to. Okay, then I take a pizza cutter and I slice it into 8. So you just go ahead and make sure you cut all the way through. They don't have to be perfect. And then I put them on a cookie sheet. I want to make sure that they aren't overlapping so that they get crisp and they don't stick together. Because with the sugar and the cinnamon, they'll have a tendency to stick together if you don't make sure that they're in a single layer. Okay, and then you bake them in a little bit of a lower oven, like about 275, 300, and it takes about 15 minutes per tray. And you can do a middle of the oven and a lower one and switch them around or whatever to speed up your baking time a little bit. But I'm just waiting for the summer breeze to come out. As soon as that does, we'll pop these in. But we'll start working on the sandwich. I made my own French bread because I couldn't find one in the grocery store. But if you can find one, go ahead and use a store-bought one. It doesn't really make a difference, whatever you're. Or if you'd rather do something like hoagie, you can usually find hoagies in the hoagie bread in the grocery store. So what you want to do is take Thousand Island dressing and spread it on the top half of your loaf. Okay, we're going to put about 1/4 of a cup of the Italian dressing on the other half. Let's spread it out. Okay, on this I'm going to top it with my cheese. And I have mozzarella and cheddar. I'm going to just kind of alternate a little bit like this. Then we're going to put this under the broiler until the cheese melts, and then we'll assemble the rest of the sandwich. So it kind of looks like this. Scooch that together a little. I'm still waiting for the summer breeze to come out. So while we have just a second here, I want to remind you, if you want a copy of any of these recipes and you don't have internet, give the Girls of Valley a call. They'll be happy to get you a copy of the recipe. If you do have internet, go to the Valley homepage. On the right hand side, you'll see the Country Cookin' Cow. You'll find all the recipes there. Take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
All right, we're going to take the summer breeze out. Got my tortilla shells in there baking underneath, so let those cool a few minutes, and then we're going to put that under the broiler. I always put my rack about the second one lower, so it's not right underneath them. So we'll let that melt just a minute, and we're going to start assembling on the other side. So I have ham, beef, and smoked turkey. You can, this is what the recipe calls for. The Summer Breeze recipe is from one of my favorite cookbooks. I got it from a girlfriend of mine, Sherry, that lives in St. Louis. Anyway, these two sisters have this cafe, and they have all kinds of friends that give them recipes and everything. So this garden party sandwich is one of those recipes from that cookbook, and I just love it. I get more good recipes out of it. But anyway, this is kind of a little bit of a lighter sandwich, something you can do if you've got company for lunch. It's quick, it's easy. Calls for about 4 ounces of each kind of meat. That might be a little bit heavy for you, but just kind of use your judgment. Okay. I'm going to add some turkey. I bought the smoked turkey. Sometimes I think that's just a little extra flavor that you get from the meat. So okay, now we're going to do the ham. It's loaded with flavor, and because it is going to be a thicker sandwich, you don't need to cut such big pieces, so it feeds a lot of people. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to just use like a small, like a hoagie loaf or something and make the sandwich, you could do that too, and just cut down on all the ingredients, just cut them in half or whatever. Now I'm going to, and this is all optional, but I'm going to put lettuce on it, and tomato, and I've thinly sliced some red onion. And so that the onion isn't quite so strong, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of break them up a little bit. There we go. See how this is coming? I think it looks good. That's how it looks. Okay, we're ready to go. I've sliced the sandwich, so when it's this thick, it doesn't want to stay together real well, but serve it with a knife and a fork for your guests if you like. We've got the pasta salad. I added just a touch more of the dressing. You can do that to your taste. And there we go. We have the garden party sandwich, the easy pasta salad, the fruit salsa, and summer breeze. Thanks for joining us on this segment of Country Cooking, and we hope to see you next time.